Recently, there has been BIOS updates from several manufacturers with support for upcoming processors on Intel's 800 series motherboards. The latest ASRock Z890 BIOS 3.15 has this support, which I can only assume would be the rumored Core Ultra 200S Plus series. The user Ming posted on X a rumor about the 200S Plus series on the same day that info appeared on a Chinese forum. 1. Compatibility with Arrow Lake motherboards. This was expected, since it is only a CPU refresh, but it is still nice to see that there is a potential upgrade path for my 265K. 2. Ultra Plus performance up to 10 plus or above. I assume this means up to 10% or more performance. This is something that I would also expect, given that the 270K reportedly has 4 more E-cores compared to the 265K. I would expect that in multi-threaded workloads, the 270K could be greater than 10% in some cases. 3. Some gaming performance up to 20 and 30. I assume this again is in percentages, but this to me seems a bit optimistic. I saw up to a 15% performance improvement on a 265K going from DDR5 6400 to DDR5 8133 with Titan timings. Arrow Lake refresh is expected to see an increase from DDR5 6400 to DDR5 7200 for its official spec, which would be some performance improvement in some games, but nowhere near 20 to 30%. Considering it's a refresh of the same architecture, I also can't see the gains coming from architectural improvements. It's possible that the 270K could be upgraded to 36 megabytes of shared L3 cache versus the 265K's 30 megabytes of shared L3 cache. This again could improve gaming performance by a few percent in some cases, but it again wouldn't be anywhere near 20 to 30%. The most gaming performance increase I could see from this refresh is maybe a few percent for the Core Ultra 7, which would be similar to the upgrade from going from Zen 4 to Zen 5. But there are several ways where Arrow Lake refresh could see some significant performance improvements. One is through Windows updates. There have been CPUs in the past that have seen some solid gains for gaming performance through Windows updates, so there is a possibility that this could happen with Arrow Lake refresh. And I'd assume those would improve the already released Arrow Lake CPUs as well. Another way Arrow Lake refresh could improve performance is through Intel Application Optimization, or Intel APO. Back in September of 2025, there was a blog post on Intel's community website where they mentioned 15 new titles being added to Intel APO. However, this update to my knowledge has yet to be released. In the blog, Intel mentioned up to 14% performance improvements with Intel APO enabled. It is possible that under certain testing conditions, you could see an even bigger improvement with Intel APO enabled. Over at Digital Trends, for instance, they found up to a 26% performance improvement in one instance when testing Intel APO. That is quite a massive improvement. Additionally, Hardware Unboxed found 2 examples of games with 18 to 20% performance improvements when enabling Intel APO. If I were Intel, I would try to add games to the list that reviewers often use so that they could potentially get to the top of the charts in certain games. Currently, there are only 20 games that support Intel APO, and in September of 2025, they announced 15 more games. Here's hoping that even more games end up getting support for Intel APO. Launch in March 2026. With the launch rumored to be just 2 months away, I wonder if we will find out the official details at CES 2026 in a few days. Same price with Arrow Lake. This would be great news if it's the same price that Arrow Lake is currently. In that case, you would be able to get a 24-core Core Ultra 7 270K Plus at around $300. Previously, the only 24-core CPU was the Core Ultra 9, which usually goes for over $500. Getting 24 cores at around $300 is the only way I could see myself upgrading. looks like Redesigned IO tile. This is one area where I'm not sure what the improvement would be, but I wonder if a redesign could remove the PCIe 5 SSD bottleneck, where it was found that speeds peak at around 12.3 GB per second when using the previously released Arrow Lake CPUs. This is something that wouldn't affect me though, as I went with a budget PCIe 5 SSD that tops out at only 10 GB per second. With CES only a few days away, it may not be long till we find out how accurate this rumor is. Thanks for watching.